Hey, Amayrali, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and for starters, I hope I pronounced your name right. Anyway, I have a hard enough time saying Matthew, but I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses for your Polo 2065, which has the tortoise sides and the blue front. Beautiful, beautiful frame. Of course, when you hold this up, you really see that tortoise come through. Of course, this is your Ralph Lauren Polo case and your Polo cleaning cloth. Let me set this aside. I'm going to pop the original demo lenses out of your frames, the one that say Polo Ralph Lauren on them. Take those out, and I'm going to put your frame into my Italian Santanelli. It is the LE1000 patternless edger. Costs $30,000. I recommend everyone go out and get one. But the stylus is now tracing the shape of your right lens, and then it's going to move over and trace the shape of your left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Polo frame and receive free prescription single vision clear lenses, or non-prescription fashion lenses if that's what you want out there, anyone in the world. But you need prescription, so let's put this in. Your pupillary distance is 58. Put that in there. We're good there. This is a polycarbonate lens that I'm going to cut on the soft cycle because of the anti-glare coating that you chose. And this is a plastic frame, so let's begin. I've got your lenses. Where are your lenses? Actually, I left them out here on the counter. Hang on, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Here are your lenses, just came in today. Let me get those, set those others back. That's the sales floor. Do you like that? Okay, back into the lab, back into the lab. So your right eye reads -5, -250 at 180. That is your lens before I begin. I'm going to cut it down to fit. So I'm going to turn my axis wheel on my Marco 101 lensometer to 180. I'm going to put the power drum on -5. Put your lens in and rotate until the sphere power comes in clearly. And I've located your optical center. Check your stigmatism correction. We're looking good there, and I'll explain all that in a moment. I just want to put 3 dots on your lenses, which are too light for you to see, so I'm going to darken those for you. And that is the right lens, so I'm going to put an R on there. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the left, -1 1/4, -250 at 179. Put your lens in, rotate it until, oops, back to -1 1/4. Let's do that. That makes everything a little clearer. Find the optical center there. Check your stigmatism correction, get that lined up perfectly, and I'll explain all that in just a moment. I'll have stuff to do. I can talk about that while the machine is cutting your lens. Put those 3 dots on there. That is 1, 2, and 3. And now this pen doesn't want it right. And that is your left lens. So I'll put an L on there. Oop, put the pen back. Now this is a block. This is what's going to hold it in place while it's cutting in the machine. So I need to stick this onto your lens. Now 3M, the same people who make post-it notes, make these double-sided adhesive stickers. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto your lens. Pull the sticker off, making it sticky on this side. And now what I'm looking into this window is like the crosshairs of a scope. I have a vertical meridian and a horizontal. And I make sure to get those 3 dots lined up on the horizontal. And then that vertical meridian goes right through your optical center. And I'm going to do the same thing for your left lens now. Pull the sticker off and get everything lined up just perfectly. Alright, now the anti-glare coating that you have, and I'll explain all those features, but one of the side effects of it is a hydrophobic lens, meaning that it hates water. So you never have to use a liquid cleaner again, because whatever liquid you put on your lens is going to bead right off. Almost like when you wax your car and it rains and the rain beads right off, the same thing is going to happen with your lens. No matter what liquid gets on your lens, it just beads right off of there. So all you'll have to use is your Polo cleaning cloth, or the one that I'm going to give you, one of mine. That's all. You'll never have to use a liquid again. So I'm just going to hit start. Now the first thing that's going to happen, these calipers are going to come down and it's going to trace the shape of the right side of your frame onto the lens, starting with the concave surface, the rear surface, the back surface closest to your eyelashes. And then it's going to move forward and trace the convex side of the lens, which is the front surface. All the while, these calipers are measuring the thickness of your lens to know exactly where to place the bevel so it looks best inside your frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's that lighter color wheel that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final shape. This wheel in the center with that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I will have to close the door in a moment due to the sound, but for now I just want you to see your unbreakable polycarbonate lens touch down on the cutting wheel. Now your lenses are made out of a material called polycarbonate. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Your lenses are virtually unbreakable. They are actually bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes while you're wearing these indoors. We know the lotions and creams and sprays that protect your skin have to be reapplied every couple hours. This will last you a lifetime. You never have to reapply. It is embedded inside of the lens. Now, one more feature about your lens, it's an aspheric lens, meaning spherical just means completely round like a basketball. Aspheric means this is not round. It starts off round and then flattens out. So it's a flatter curvature. It's going to cosmetically look so much better inside your frame. If you've ever seen someone with their lenses are bulging out of their frames that has that ugly fishbowl appearance, those are spherical lenses. So when you buy glasses online, they charge you for plastic lenses. If you want the thinner, lighter weight polycarb, you have to pay an upgrade for that. And then if you want the aspheric lenses, you have to pay another upgrade fee just to get to where I start at for free. When you buy your frames from me, you're always going to get free single vision lenses. Now, the anti-glare coating that you have is 3 features in one. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, from oncoming lights, but it also eliminates glare from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, fluorescents, overhead lights, all of that. Now, the second feature, it's an anti-reflection lens. So when someone's looking at you, they're not going to be looking at their reflection in your glasses. Or if someone takes a picture with a flash, you're not going to see the flash lit up in the lens. It's going to make for much better eye contact and a much better cosmetic appearance. Now, the third feature that I like, the practical side, is it comes with the best scratch coating of any lens, because that anti-glare coating, that machine costs $1 million and takes 24 hours to apply to the lens. So they're going to put the strongest scratch coating that they can on there to protect the anti-glare coating. So that's what you get when you buy from me. Now, if you notice, your lens is still completely flat, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. In just a moment, it's going to move over and have the bevel put on there. I love picking this stuff off as it goes around. Now, if you notice, there is water running in the background, but not onto the lens. That's just to collect dust. Where polycarbonate cuts dry, plastic and high index cut wet. Now it's actually putting the bevel onto the lens. And in just a moment, a couple water jets will kick in to wash away this debris that I'm picking off of your lens. Ooh, another good piece just came around. Can I get it? Can I get it? Do you want to keep this Amayrali? Should I save this for you? Take it to school for show and tell. In just a moment, the water jets will kick in. There we go, on command. It's just washing away any optical debris, optical sawdust, if you will. Like the stuff that's around the edge of your lens that I like picking off. That's what it's washing off. Now, this whole process takes about 15 minutes. It is now 8:27 on Wednesday, June 25th, 87 degrees and storming in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina, which is halfway between Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, and halfway between Miami and New York City. Okay. So I'm going to take the lens out. I do want to dry it off so it's not slippery. It's always embarrassing when you drop a lens on live TV. That's why I'm not going to do it. So, you still have some rough edges, some burrs, if you will, around the edge of your lens left over from the cutting cycle. So I want to use my hand stone to smooth those out. This is completely flat. I can put my finger on it while it's running, and my finger does get warm due to the friction. But it's that friction that allows me to smooth out any rough edges that are left over from the cutting cycle. And this white powdery substance you see me pulling off is called Schwarf. I do this so much that I've worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail. My friends call it my occupational thumbnail. And once it's all off your lens and onto the counter, I collect it very neatly, and then very carefully I wipe it on the floor. And this is where I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like this. So if you want to grow up and make a mess, kids, you gotta stay in school. So to see if your lens fits, I tuck it in at the outside corner, then using my thumbs I press down at the nose and it snaps in. And actually it went in a little snug. Let me take that back out. I do want to take it down some more, but I'm going to go old school. Let me go ahead and start cutting your left lens. And hit start. And just like before, the calipers are going to come down and it's going to trace, but this time it's going to trace the left side of your frame to make sure this is large enough. And once this starts cutting, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on your right lens. I do not need this block on there anymore. Now I could have the machine take it down for me again, but I'm going to go old school and back to the hand stone, and I'm going to go around the outside of your lens. Because your left lens is much thicker than your right, I'm just going to go around and take some off until it fits inside your frame. Dry everything off again. Now to see if it fits, I tuck it in at the outside corner, then using my thumbs I gently press down. Yeah, that fits in much better this time. So I'm going to check your prescription just as soon as your left lens starts cutting. So I do not need the sticker anymore. I'm going to peel that off. Wipe away that last little bit of optical sawdust. Now this is your strongest, thickest lens, and I think that looks pretty good. That's a good finished product. No one's ever going to see any edge thickness in there. But we still have that red dot. That is your optical center. So I want to spin my axis wheel back to 180. Put it in over that red dot. And I'm reading -5. Hopefully the camera will show you that. Now you have 2.5 diopters of astigmatism. So if someone owed you $5 and they borrowed another $2.50, they would owe you $7.50. So now I'm going to check your astigmatism correction, and we're exactly at 7.5, exactly halfway between 7 and 8. So your prescription reads -5, -250 at 180. Your left eye reads -1.25, -250 at 179. Now the unit of measure, you've heard of ounces, gallons, and pounds. Well, in the optical field, we use the term diopter, and that is spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. Everything is in quarter increments for us, starting at 0, also known as plano, meaning no prescription, and goes up in there in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. You need 20 steps of correction. You're on the 20th rung of a ladder to improve your far-sighted correction. Now, this first number, 5, this gets everything the correct size. With your glasses off, everything is much larger than it really appears. So when you put your glasses on, it will minify down to the correct size. Now, everything is still fuzzy, even though it's the correct size. This is your astigmatism correction, and there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease, it is not an affliction, but everyone freaks out when they hear that word. But you still need an additional 10 steps of correction to take away those fuzzy edges. And that's the fine tune knob. So if you can imagine a knob that we tune to make everything nice and crisp, we would turn that knob to 180. And if this were a straight line, which it is, 0 and 180, with 90 and 270 being here, 0 and 180 being here, we turn that knob all the way to 180. For your left eye, you don't need nearly as much correction. You only need 5 steps of correction. You have a big difference between your right and your left eye. You see much better out of your left eye without your glasses on. But you still need the same amount of astigmatism correction, another 10 steps. So, again, this first number gets everything the correct size. This second number takes away fuzzy edges. these first two numbers on the top and bottom are real values. These last two numbers could be anywhere from 0 to 180, and they really don't mean as much. It just tells us where to fine tune that knob where it makes everything nice and crisp. So again, getting back here, if someone borrowed $1.25 and then they borrowed another $2.50, they would owe you $3.75, and that is your combined power in your prescription. So that is that. It's in the final rinse cycle. Excuse me, I had a little Peter Brady moment there. My voice broke. I was going through puberty again. I enjoyed it so much the first time. Try it again. Apologize for my voice cracking there. I'll never make it as a DJ on the radio. Never! Okay, so I just want to smooth out those rough edges. Use my thumbnail to scrape all that off your lens. And then again, kids, you know what's coming. Wipe it on the floor. Kids, how many times I got to tell you, stay in school. So, I'm now going to push it on this side. If you notice, I have the side closest to me. I'm not trying to reach over the frame. I turn it this way. I tuck it in at the outside corner. Then using my thumbs, I press down. Oops, it wants to go down some more. So this time I will use the machine. I'm going to take it down another 1/10 of a millimeter. Put this in and hit retouch. And it's going to go in. And it's going to bypass the cutting wheel this time and go straight to the bevel wheel, and it's going to take 1/10 of a millimeter off all the way around your lens. A millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails, so it's going to take 1/10 of that distance off all the way around the circumference of your lens until I do not have to force it to pop in. If I were to force it in, it may cause your frame to stretch or warp, and it's just an ugly cosmetic appearance, and I will never do that. Since I'm a one-man show, I keep the quality high for everything. I'm not going to send out any subpar work. Oop, there's a little piece. Grab it, grab it. There we go. The water jets kick in to wash away any debris, and we're in the last 20 seconds.